say it by saying, what's up, Vikings Nation? But I know a lot of people aren't probably happy about tonight's game, especially myself. Terrible. Terrible performance to say the least. Just an absolute, just one of those games that gets you kind of screaming at your TV every once in a while. Look, the script is flipped. Okay, Kirk Cousins, our primetime Kirk Cousins, absolutely shined tonight. Unfortunately, okay, yeah, boo, says Jadis Young. Look, we stink. Okay, that was an absolute, it looked like Clown Town out there. Like, what is Kirk Cousins doing? Multiple interceptions on chances that we needed to score on, okay, especially when, Patrick Peterson, say, blocks a field goal. Oh, wait, then, nothing happens. Then Jordan Hicks comes stumbling out there and picks the ball off. Hey, we got some hope. And ultimately, yeah, another pick because Kirk Cousins just can't seem to figure it out on primetime football. We got absolutely demolished by the Philadelphia Eagles. Absolutely demolished. 24-7 after we just beat the Green Bay Packers 23-7. Quite interesting. Well, our offense is, it's hit or miss right now. Yes, I know we have a new head coach, okay, and things aren't going to go your way all the time, right? But one huge takeaway that we need to do differently is do not go to Justin Jefferson 24/7. I get it. He's a superstar. He's one of the great wide receivers of the game today. But at the same time, when you go to him 24/7, more times than not, it ain't going to pan out, okay? Adam Thielen has been completely invisible the last 2 weeks. What, he had 2 catches or something like that last week against Green Bay. This week, Adam Thielen goes out there. Actually, our leading receiver. Wow, crazy, huh? 7 targets, 4 catches, 52 yards for Adam Thielen. We need to get him involved more, as well as Irv Smith. Irv Smith actually had a couple good catches there, except for the first one that he should have been a touchdown, deep bomb, like 50 yards, 40 yards, whatever the case may be. Perfect dime from Kirk Cousins. You got to catch that ball. That was like one of the main things that happened during this game was our wide receivers just could not keep a hold of the ball. Now, what are you going to do when he can't really throw anywhere? Darius Slay was like glue to Justin Jefferson. Couple picks on the night. I know he had at least 2. Should have had probably 8. I mean, to be realistic, should have had 8 picks. Kirk Cousins was throwing to him like he was on his team. Hey, Kirk, by the way, we're playing against the guys in the green, okay? Our team's the white guys. Throw the ball to the ones that are wearing white, all right? That's what we need to do, okay? Get the ball to our guys, plain and simple. All right. Yeah, he had 3, says Jadis Young. Jeez, yeah, should have had 8. Let's see who's in the chat here. We have Jadis Young. This was the Packers versus the Vikings game for y'all, but yeah, you're not wrong there, Jadis. Trust me. Nights like tonight, I regret being a fan. Well, I wouldn't say I regret being a fan quite yet, okay? This is the Vikings. Typical Vikings, right? We get our hopes up every single week. We have a great victory, and then we come out and we lay a complete dud on primetime football in front of millions of people. Just can't have it. Like this, that was awful football. Our offensive line, that was actually one of the keys I had to victory, right? Well, let's go look at the keys to victory. The second one, offensive line play. Our offensive line play had to be top notch. It had to be as consistent and as good as it was last week. It was not. When we got down to the red zone, it seemed like our offensive line completely fell apart. Okay, gave Kirk Cousins basically no time. Okay, I don't know why I said 0 to no time, but no time to throw the ball, no time to relax and make the right reads and do all that. It was terrible. Look, the Eagles, I underestimated the Eagles. We were 2.5-point underdogs, and they absolutely slapped us around, okay? Made us look silly. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you have or what you thought about this game, because it was just absolutely atrocious. Let's go to Lucas here, who says, Kirk out there playing razzle-dazzle, too high safety the whole time, butterfingers for days. This house will always believe, but man, do they make it hard. Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding at all there, Lucas. I mean, look, That was one thing I think Troy Aikman was pointing out the entire game. We never changed our defensive scheme. Okay, like I get it, we're playing a 3-4 defense, and it's great for some of the teams that we're going to play this season like it was against Green Bay. But when it gets picked apart like the way Jalen Hurts was doing, literally the gaps on the field for the wide receivers to get into, it was literally a first down every single play. It was absolutely unreal. Like, just, we can't have it. We got to be a lot better than that, not only offensively but defensively. Secondary, our secondary is back where we seen it, right? The past 2 seasons. Not great, okay? They have that short burst of, yeah, we're pretty good. We're going to stop the pass. We're going to do all this. But then all of a sudden, things start falling apart like Cam Dantzler. Okay, I've been against Cam Dantzler. I don't like him. I think he's, garbage to say the least. I just don't believe in the man. I don't know why. But maybe it's just because of what I've seen on the field from him. But this guy, look, had, what was it? Like a great stop. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's right there. But he had a great stop. Then he does it or gets a penalty for illegal touching or whatever the case may be. I don't even know. But then he screws it up, kind of redeems himself again. But then he lets up another pass. He lets up multiple passes, actually. Our entire secondary just looked sloppy, looked slow, looked behind. And we cannot, for the love of God, have what's his face? I think it was DJ Wanham guarding Devontae Smith over the middle. We can't have that. How does that happen? Okay, that's where our linebackers have to take responsibility. That's where Eric Kendricks, Jordan Hicks, Zadarius Smith, regardless if he's blitzing or rushing the quarterback, we have to be more disciplined than what we were. Okay, their run game, the Eagles' run game, just fine. Miles Sanders, 80 yards on the ground. Okay, Jalen Hurts, 57 yards on the ground, 2 tutties. 2 touchdowns. And yes, I get it. Jalen Hurts is a dog, and the Eagles were, the favorites. But we have to be better. We just have to be better. And, basically what Lucas said in the comments, yeah, he just basically threw the ball wherever. Okay, one knock on Kirk Cousins I had all last year, and I was screaming from the mountaintops, was basically throw the ball away. Get the ball out of your hands. Get it out of your hands. Don't take unnecessary sacks. Okay, and he's been doing that. He did that last week. He was, making sure that if it was a close sack, he was still going to get it out. But this week he did the exact same thing, and it backfired. I think Kirk has to find that happy medium of when to get the ball out. Okay, you can't just be in the middle of taking a hit and you're first and goal or second and goal, whatever the case may be, and just know that, oh, I got Justin Jefferson. I'm just going to sling it over there, and hopefully he comes down with it. You can't do that. You just can't, especially when you have the opportunity to maybe come away with a field goal, maybe a touchdown. You can't do that. That's one of those times where you have to throw the ball away. Okay, you just have to. Take the sack or whatever the case may be. We need the points, and we just couldn't get any. We have 7 points we put on the board. Our offense looked phenomenal last week. Okay, night and day, absolute night and day. The Eagles roasted us, absolutely roasted us. Jalen Hurts, 333 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 26 of 31 passing. Should we go take a look at old Kirk Cousins? Our fully guaranteed quarterback. Well, 27 of 46 passing, 221 yards, 1 tutty, 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions. You want to know who our leading rusher was? Take a wild guess. It's not Dalvin. No, it's Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was our leading rusher. Let that soak in for a minute. 2 rushes, 20 yards. Yeah, he had a fumble. Our leading rusher was Kirk Cousins. Can't happen. Cannot happen unless you're the Buffalo Bills, who just got done beating the Tennessee Titans. Just crushed them. Can't have it. It was a bad game. And like my friend Dempsey said, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic outing from the Minnesota Vikings. Super pathetic. So we have to really sit back and think about this one, because Kirk Cousins on primetime is awful. And that has to make you believe, or at least make you kind of worry, that he'll never be able to win us a Super Bowl. And I know it's early on. Okay, there's still that opportunity, there's still that chance. But when the lights are on and the lights are shining bright, Kirk Cousins hasn't even left his house. He didn't even pack his bags, okay? He's not coming to the game. Okay, whoever's in that number 8 jersey, it's not Kirk Cousins. Because if it's not a primetime game, he's just fine. He's great. He's good. Leads us to some wins, maybe a playoff victory. But no, when the lights shine brightest, he is awful. Plain and simple, awful. I don't even know what to say about it. It was just a bad game from the Minnesota Vikings. I liked a couple things. Irv Smith started to get in there, like I mentioned earlier. But other than that, what good is there of this game? Kirk Cousins, typical primetime game. Okay, Dalvin Cook couldn't get the run going. Means our offensive line played like garbage. Couldn't create the holes. Couldn't protect Kirk Cousins. Couldn't even give him like 2 seconds, 3 seconds to maybe get that ball off. Just an absolute letdown. Absolute letdown. So, I don't know, you guys can keep letting me know in the comments your thoughts of this game, because or if you have any questions even, we can get those answered of what I thought or what you thought and stuff like that. Also, hit that like, hit the subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, not 100 subscribers, 400 subscribers by October 1st. So that should be very doable. But this was an awful game. And when we go into next week against Detroit, okay, Detroit almost beat these Eagles. Okay, almost beat them 35-38. They lost. The one thing I saw from that Lions-Eagles game was that the Lions had heart. They fought till the very end. I didn't see that out of Minnesota. We gave the game to Philadelphia. Plain and simple. We gave it to them. Can't have it. So we have to go into next week ready to rock and roll, firing on all cylinders. Our offense has to be more explosive. We have to be like Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson said, attacking the end zone, attacking the defenders. We have to find a way to score. We have to find a way to put points on the board. Our defensive line, just fine. Okay, they'll be just fine the entire year. I have the utmost faith in those guys. Okay, Daniel Hunter, Zadarius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, Harrison Phillips. Our linebacker core, Jordan Hicks. Thanks for the pick today. Obviously, you can go thank Kirk Cousins for the interception right after that and gave it away. But our linebackers will be okay. But what I struggle with trying to think is going to be okay is our secondary. The only way our secondary performs to an exceptional standard or a good standard is if our linebackers take that pressure off of them, like they did last week against Green Bay. We've seen it all game. Ran the same exact defense we ran tonight, okay? Where the linebackers basically took all the pressures off our corners, our safeties. They really didn't have to do anything. But then we come to tonight where Jalen Hurts just sliced and diced our zone defense or whatever the heck we were running, the umbrella defense. I don't know what it was, but let me tell you, it wasn't a good defense, okay? Ed Donatella has to switch that up. Has to switch that up mid-game. Has to. Okay, at halftime, you have to make adjustments. There were none. That's why we lost this game. No adjustments, no hope, no nothing. We just flat out gave it to Philadelphia. I had them, I want to say I had the Vikings higher than Philadelphia in my power rankings. Probably shouldn't have after watching that matchup. We can go take a look here quick because if I'm not mistaken, I had them lower. I did. Okay, yeah, so I had the Vikings at 10, Eagles at 16. Let's flip-flop those. Eagles at probably 10, Vikings at 16. That's where they probably should have been because got a little too happy with the Packers win, even though we got to realize that Packers didn't have wide receivers, and that's another thing. We got exposed. Our secondary, our defense got exposed by the simple fact we've seen it in back-to-back weeks. We go to the Green Bay, right? Don't really have a superstar wide receiver. Didn't have Allen Lazard in that lineup. Christian Watson really was irrelevant the whole game. Randall Cobb had a couple catches, still irrelevant the whole game. But then we come to Philadelphia, where they have a superstar wide receiver in A.J. Brown. And I wouldn't quite say superstar right now, but they have a star receiver in Devontae Smith. Okay? And they absolutely annihilate our defense. They were able to find the holes in the defense and sit there and wait for a pass. Wait for Jalen Hurts to just kind of dish it out to him and away with the races, basically, or away with the game they win. So when we play good receivers, Our linebackers have to be on alert at all times. Our corners have to be alert at all times, have to know where certain people are, especially when it's a superstar wide receiver. Like when we play the Bills later on this season, we have to cover Stephon Diggs. We have to know where that man is on the field at all times, as well as Josh Allen, of course. But our secondary just has to be way better. It just awful, terrible. Yeah, hey, cheers, Lucas. Thanks for joining. You guys can like this video or like this live. Hit the comment section. Tell me what you thought of the game. Any questions you have for me to answer, hopefully we can get those answered. And also hit that subscribe. 400 subscribers is the goal by October 1st. So, yeah, we go to Lions next week. And I'm really torn between this one. I really am because being the Minnesota Vikings Syndicate, we have a rival in the Syndicate, obviously the Detroit Lions Syndicate, and we're going head to head. We're going head to head. Each of us are 1-1, but guess what? There's one thing that's upsetting. Detroit's number 1 in the division. Detroit's number 1 in the division. Let that sink in. Okay, MCDC has those boys rolling, and what's to stop them to come to Minnesota, or I think we go there, whatever the case may be, and not put on a show and not beat us. We have to be miles better. Okay, we have to be better than the Green Bay game. We have to be, way better than tonight's game to beat Detroit, because we know that with that grit over there in Detroit, they ain't going to stop. They ain't going to stop till that final whistle blows. They ain't. We just are lucky that it's not a primetime game, because if it was, probably going to lose regardless. Kirk Cousins is like 3-800 in primetime games, so that has to be cleaned up for sure. So, hey, it is what it is. We're 1-1 now. We lost to Philly 24-7. We'll just keep on rolling. Hopefully things get a lot better. It is only week 2. I think we have 16 more weeks to go, 15 more games to go. We'll be fine. Okay, we can't start panicking now, but we have a lot of stuff to clean up. Our offensive line, our secondary, adjustments. There's a lot. Plain and simple, there's a lot to work on. So hopefully we bounce back next week against the Detroit Lions and have another division win. That'd be huge. End week 3 2-1, then go over to London and hopefully put on a good battle against the Saints. So once again, if you are here, hit the comment section what you thought about this game. Also hit that like button, that subscribe. We're trying to get the channel to 400 subs by October 1st. Very doable, folks. Very, very doable. Very, very doable. And you'll get endless amounts of Vikings content on this page, so that's a massive plus. But anyways, we'll be back here for sure tomorrow, and then next week live again after the game against Detroit. So have a great rest of your night, folks. And unfortunately, we didn't get the dub, but Skol Vikes.